Impey, an astronomy professor at the University of Arizona, says he's concerned about the lack of governance around defunct satellites and space debris.
They're more dangerous to each other and colliding with each other and putting each other out of action than they are to people on the Earth.
Many satellites that have outlived their usefulness are still orbiting and creating a sea of space junk. It could damage working satellites that are needed for communications, observations, and navigation down here. Impey said companies and space agencies should be governed by an international treaty with enforcement powers that should regulate such space junk and the re-entry events like tomorrow. I'm Rachel Maria Dillon, KCBS.
We are on the Money Watch. Jason Brooks is off today. Erica Hershkowitz joins in from the Uganda Financial Group. My guest.
Not so fast. Fubo TV is suing to block ESPN, Warner Brothers, Discovery, and Fox Sports, seeking to hold up the creation of a joint venture sports streaming service. The lawsuit claims the companies behind the planned sports platform are forcing Fubo to broadcast unwanted and expensive content. Bayer, best known as an aspirin maker, is actually a chemical giant making all sorts of things. One of those things is a major drag on the company. In an effort to dig itself out of a hole created by the acquisition of Monsanto that saddles with massive debt and waves of litigation over the health impacts of the Roundup herbicide.
You're supposed to go slow, stupid rich people. Supposed to go slow. This type of weather, not speed up.
Wall Street are waiting NVIDIA's earnings tomorrow for confirmation that chipmakers can meet lofty expectations set by the artificial intelligence boom. The Dow fell 64 points. The Nasdaq lost 145, the S&P dipped 30. Erica Hershkowitz, Bloomberg Business for KCBS.
I wish my call Ferry this one time, my parents have known the whole neighborhood threatened out. They come back. Ferry? I have Wi-Fi all over the house, including all my favorite super secret hiding spots. So I can go kindly here by streaming my shows and found you. I left to find my tablet on. This generation is winning the game with their performance enhancers.
Get multiple Wi-Fi on the Xfinity 10G network for a reliable connection throughout your home. Now through March 21st, new customers can get started with 1.2 gigabit internet for $25 a month for 2 years with no annual contract. And Wi-Fi equipment included when you add unlimited mobile. Go to Xfinity.com, call on to enter Xfinity, or visit a store today. Requires Scriptless Limit Auto Store Bank account. Restrictions apply. Tax and extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet. After promo, regular supply to internet service and Wi-Fi equipment, actual fees vary. At Fremont Bank, we know home mortgage rates can vary from lender to lender. Some offer no closing cost loans, some have points and fees options. But here, we offer both. We have a range of offers for you to choose from, plus perks that add value to help make your home buying or refinancing process as quick and easy as possible. With our local team of experts who know the Bay Area market up and down, your mortgage process just got a whole lot better. Learn more at FremontBank.com. NMLS 478471, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Did you buy term insurance from electrical, taxable, CMU, or anyone else? Do you no longer need it, or just can't afford it anymore? Well, you might be sitting on a gold mine. That's right. You may be able to sell all or part of your life insurance policy to Coventry for cash, or a combination of cash and coverage with no future premium. Call Coventry Direct at 800-749-3200, or visit CoventryDirect.com to find out if you're sitting on a gold mine. That's 800-749-3200. Call now.
At Consumer Cellular, you get the same exact coverage as the largest carriers, but for up to half the cost. Same thing, up to half the cost. Up to half the cost for the same thing. 50% the money for 100% the same thing. I hope I'm making myself clear. Consumer Cellular. When freedom calls, we're here to answer. Call us at 1-888-FREEDOM.
Pass the cost savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 5 gigabyte data plan with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plan offered by T-Mobile and Verizon May 2023.
KCBS News Time 2:58. We're headed to the snow break. We're going to see how it's doing. The latest from Kim in your local Honda dealer's traffic center. So many trouble stops on Bay Area freeways. The Soscol area probably the worst right now. It started with a 7-car crash last hour southbound side of 680 just before the 84 interchange.
At one point, all the southbound lanes were blocked. They've all been reopened. Struggling, though, to recover. It's backed up into Pleasanton. Meanwhile, it's bumper to bumper on northbound 680 from Mission Boulevard all the way to the scene of a crash before Antarati Road, which is still blocking the right lane. Part of the problem is you can't use Niles Canyon Road as an alternate today because a portion of the road was washed out over the weekend. So that is not an alternate this afternoon. Another big backup, your ride between Castor Valley and Pleasanton. Eastbound 580, a crash involving a big rig before Hacienda. Some sort of leakage they're calling for an absorbent. So ongoing delays on the Dublin grade. Next update, 3:08 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
We have another wet, treacherous commute on our hands thanks to the latest system that is bringing heavy downpours with thunderstorms. Still a possibility of a thunderstorm this evening, and it's going to become less intense this evening. Traffic and weather together on KCBS.
Coming up on KCBS.
I'm Jeffrey Schaub at the St. Vincent de Paul Dining Hall in Santa Rosa, which after decades is closing its doors.
I'm Marty Schaefer. President Biden heads for the Golden State to fundraise.
Well, when it comes to money, there are 5 Bay Area zip codes. And we are closely following a flash flood warning for San Francisco, where we're seeing water gush up from manhole covers at places.
I'm Abby Rising.
And I'm Brett Burkhardt.
When you need to know, KCBS AM, KFRC FM, and HD1, San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, and Odyssey Station. 3 o'clock.
Is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Stacey Lynn. 2 adult men have now been charged with murder stemming from last week's shooting after the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Jackson County prosecutor Gene Peters Baker says they were in an argument and pulled out guns. While both adults are charged with murder, the evidence tells us that it was Mr. Miller's firearm. Mr. Miller's firearm struck Lisa Lopez Galvin. She died in the shooting. 22 others were injured. The new charges come after 2 juveniles were detained on gun-related and resisting arrest charges. Well, the rain is still pouring down in California. Kate Finstrom is with CBS Los Angeles.
They're urging folks not to go into the coastline here in Ventura County, not even to go along those jetties that go out or along the rocks, because they're expecting waves of up to 16 feet.
For a third time, the U.S. has vetoed a UN Security Council resolution demanding an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. CBS's Holly Williams with what's in the rival draft the U.S. is proposing instead.
Temporary ceasefire, the release of all the remaining hostages, as well as the lifting of all restrictions on humanitarian aid going into the Gaza Strip.
In Utah, the mom made famous for her 8 passengers YouTube channel was sentenced to up to 60 years for child abuse. Ruby Frankie admitted to things like kicking her son and holding his head underwater.
I chose to believe and behave with paranoia, culminated into criminal activity, for which I stand before you today ready to take accountability.
The South Carolina polls have Nikki Haley 30 points behind Donald Trump, but despite trailing by a lot, she says she's not going anywhere.
Some of you, perhaps a few of you in the media, came here today to see if I'm dropping out of the race. Well, I'm not.
So Haley or Trump? When reporters asked President Biden who he'd rather run against, he responded,
I don't care.
The South Carolina primary is Saturday. Animal shelters across the country are overflowing.
Kristen Chadwick is with the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals.
The shelters are in a crisis right now, for sure. What we're seeing in shelters is that more animals are staying in shelters for longer periods of time.
U.S. animal shelters euthanized nearly 360,000 dogs and some 330,000 cats last year. Tim Priscilla, CBS News.
It was a down day on Wall Street. The Dow closed off 64 points. Nasdaq down 145. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. It's the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's 3:03 at the Bay Area's news station, KCBS. A very active weather pattern around the Bay Area right now. In some places, it's downright dangerous. We're going to have more on the weather in just a second. Good afternoon. I'm Pat.
Patty Rice, and I'm Brett Burkhardt. Here's what's happening.
The wet weather has returned with a vengeance in the Bay Area. The National Weather Service is showing a flash flood warning for San Francisco until 4 p.m. We are seeing images of water gushing out of utility holes in the ground at the intersection of Franklin and Green in San Francisco. Hayes Valley getting hit hard with unlocalized flooding. Flood warning is also in effect for Sonoma County until 10 tonight. Areas expected to be affected include Santa Rosa, Roanoke Park, Sebastopol, Napa, South Santa Rosa, Forestville, and Creighton. Officials are reminding you to turn around, don't drown, as most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Be especially cautious at night when it's hard to recognize the dangers of flooding. CBS's David Wells is out surveying things in San Francisco. We will be hearing from him shortly.
The year was 1863. The St. Vincent de Paul Society of Sonoma County opened a free dining hall to serve the area's homeless and others in need of a daily hot meal. Thousands of people have benefited since, but now, as KCBS's Jeffrey Schaub reports, that all ends for good in 2 weeks.
It takes a lot of elbow grease to clean up following lunch service for 100 at the free dining hall. Every Monday through Friday, a small staff and volunteers prep hot meals using donated food supplies. 86-year-old Mary Cook has volunteered here for 19 years. She is very upset it's closed. How important is it?
It's very important for me that I need somebody to eat and come in and rest.
St. Vincent de Paul Society managers say they're closing the dining room because they're selling the building it's located in, and they say the hall loses money. But the volunteer says St. Vincent is a non-profit. What's more important, feeding the needy or losing money?
There's nothing. I go there. Maybe try to get warm. Something to eat.
The dining hall closes March 8th in Santa Rosa. Jeffrey Schaub, KCBS. That's invited in California for another fundraising visit. KCBS's Marty Schaefer reports he's in California today and will come to the Bay Area later this week. At events being hosted by Nancy Pelosi, where it is, the home in Pacific Heights. It's going to cost somewhere around $100,000 per couple to get in.
And it's CBS political analyst Mark Sandler, who says 5 of the top 60 zip codes for donating money to political causes are in the Bay Area, including 94022, where another Biden fundraiser will be held. The Los Angeles Times reports the Los Altos Hills fundraiser will be hosted by real estate developers Robert and Danielle Klein.
Hosted by Steve Wesley, controller, where you can get in for a dual $600, but you're welcome to give as much as $100,000 if you want to be part of a special circle.
Well, millions will be raised in California. It will be spent in 3 states, focused on getting out the vote. Marty Schaefer, KCBS. KCBS this time 306. The blessing scam targets seniors being convinced evil spirits are threatening them and involved, leaving victims without their valuables. KCBS's James Hernandez takes us to Chinatown, where San Francisco city leaders gathered to issue a warning. Lady Shaw Senior Housing is an independent living apartment complex in San Francisco's Chinatown. Many residents don't speak English. That's why Mayor Reverend Green, District Attorney Brooke Jenkins, and Police Chief Bill Scott had interpreters to help them discuss the con called the blessing scam. Police Chief Bill Scott. He said 2 of the 4 victims are believed to have been caught by the same 3 people, 1 Asian man and 2 Asian women. Tony Flores is acting lieutenant of the department's special victims unit. He says the suspects first built a rapport, and the conversation turned to evil spirits.
There might be ghosts with your money, there might be ghosts with your food. So what happens is they're given this bag and they're told, don't open this bag for about 30 days or else they won't get left.
Victims don't realize the goods are gone until the bags are reopened.
My fear, they're going to open up these bags and there's a lot of shame that comes from this.
Which is why Mayor Breed hopes the city's warnings are heard in every language necessary.
It makes sure we help you and then you don't become a victim of the blessing scam.
Jade Hernandez, KCBS.
It is a sloppy commute all around the Bay Area. We begin with a look at the peninsula with Kim in the KCBS Traffic Center.
When that heavy shell of rain blew through last hour, dumped a lot of water everywhere, but on 280 had several crashes, including an overturned crash in Daly City. The latest one, southbound 280 before Eastmore, is now on the
shoulder, but I can still see it flow in both directions there. So a little through Millbrae, too, both sides of 101 from earlier occurring problems and some standing water reported. Everyone's gearing down. That's what we saw on the Bay Bridge coming and going from San Francisco. No incidents on the Bay Bridge right now. Everyone's taking it westbound 101, bumper to bumper, from just past 280 all the way onto the lower deck of the Bay Bridge. If the Eastern Freeway is your destination, everybody's taking it easy here too. And a couple of minor problems. Solo spin-out crash westbound on 80 at Ashley Avenue, and now the phone force is reporting a van that broke down westbound at Ashley. So a couple of problems there in the Berkeley area. Also, Highway 24 at Broadway, a car spun out, going to ride to the Caldecott Tunnel. And Oakland freeways are doing well. We don't have any major crashes, just the usual flow and go, and even slower because of all the rain. So 880, probably your heaviest stretch there through Oakland. Downtown, Oakland southbound as you head towards San Lorenzo, where we have a crash northbound 880 in San Lorenzo before Washington Avenue. Finally out of the way. Next update, 318 on the traffic leader, KCBS. KPIX 5 meteorologist Paul Hagan just tweeted that the heavy rain is about to wind down in San Francisco in the next 20 to 30 minutes. Remember, there is a flash flood warning in effect for entire county of San Francisco until 4. Paul says the flooding threat is going to continue for the East Bay and parts of the North Bay as the heavy rain inches eastward. We're expecting that in the next few hours or so. By tomorrow, it's going to be gone. The system's going to be gone, and we are going to see a mixture of sun and clouds and high and lower stations. Traffic and weather together on the 8th on all news 106.9 and AM 740.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different. What makes you so different than the rest of us? We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship. Tell me more. Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing client needs. How do you make money? We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better. What about client portfolios? We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Executive Security Inbox, Richard Locke.
Hey guys, Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. Most guys don't realize that their ED started in their 40s. Symptoms of erectile dysfunction can be slight and subtle, but by treating your symptoms at the onset, you can avoid severe ED in the future. Mild ED is easily reversed at our clinic using our acoustic wave technology. Most men have accepted that ED is a part of getting older, but that's far from the truth. Our acoustic wave therapy has helped thousands of men restore function, whether they're in their 40s or their 80s. West Coast Men's Health also treats chronic pain, including neuropathy, plantar fasciitis, Dupuytren's contracture, and even carpal tunnel. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in San Mateo, Pleasanton, Walnut Creek, and Elk Grove, call West Coast Men's Health at 650-407-1168. That's 650-407-1168. 650-407-1168. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
We have more now on the News Watch with Brett.
Patty, even with constant news of tech layoffs, KCBS's Mary Hughes reports that those who keep an eye on the industry say that with reinvention comes growth.
Silicon Valley is going to be just fine.
It may not seem that way to a lot of people as layoffs at many tech companies keep happening. Over the past couple of years, more than 30,000 jobs in the Bay Area tech sector have been cut. But
This is nothing like what we saw, for example, when the .com crash set in. That was 150,000 jobs in one fell swoop.
that's the viewpoint from Russell Hancock, president and CEO of joint venture Silicon Valley. He says that companies went through a boom time during the pandemic, and that brought on a lot of hiring. Now the downturn is here.
Efficiency has become the new fad in Silicon Valley. Companies are thinking we need to capture efficiency by tightening up the workforce, saying, actually, let's not have any redundancy whatsoever.
But Hancock says there are some positives happening.
We're growth positive, yes, layoffs, but what that actually means is that companies are trimming down certain divisions, but they're growing in others.
He
calls this a recalibration time for Silicon Valley as it sets out to figure out what the next big thing will be and what that will mean for everyone involved. Ferry Hughes, KCBS.
We're 2 minutes away from the KCBS Sports Line.
Hey, it's Claire Beverly with Sherry from Light Source Water Systems, celebrating 40 years in business. Sherry, 40 years, that must feel incredible.
Yes.